In a city of towering glass and steel, where ambition hums like a beehive and dreams glitter like stars, the annual Lumina Gala was the heart of it all. It was a place where futures were not just talked about, but forged in the heat of conversation. Among the brightest stars was a young woman named Zara, her presence as vibrant as the deep red urban modern dress she wore. Her skin, a royal dark ebony, shone with a natural radiance under the bright, vibrant lights, a testament to her heritage and a symbol of pride. She was a modern-day queen, her regal African braids styled like a crown, her cowrie shell necklaces and large hoop earrings echoing the timeless wisdom of her ancestors. She moved through the crowd with the confidence of a lioness, believing this night was hers for the taking. Yet, as she basked in the admiring gaze of others, she was unaware that the spirits of fate were weaving a tapestry far different from the one she imagined, and that her journey was about to take a humbling turn. Amidst the swirling crowd and the crescendo of music, an invisible world existed. It was the world of those who served, who polished, and who made the brilliance of the gala possible. One such soul was a man named Kwasi, the janitor, a quiet, dignified man whose tireless work went unseen, much like the roots of a mighty baobab tree. He moved through the periphery of the party, a silent ghost amidst the glamour, his purpose to maintain order amidst the chaos of celebration. His skin, a royal dark ebony like Zara's, held a deeper, more weathered glow, a testament to years of quiet strength and unseen labor. As their paths briefly collided, a splash of a drink became a moment of reckoning. For Zara, Kwasi was merely an inconvenience, a shadow threatening to mar her perfect evening. She saw only his faded, simple uniform, but failed to see the quiet wisdom in the eyes of the man beneath it. She saw only a role, and in her youthful arrogance, she forgot to see a person. In the heat of her own perceived importance, Zara's words flew like daggers, sharp and carelessly aimed. She saw only the uniform, not the man, the temporary role, not the inherent dignity. Her voice, usually soft and alluring, hardened with a dismissive edge, meant to entertain her small circle of admirers. Honestly, she scoffed, loud enough for all to hear. Can't you people be more careful? You're ruining the atmosphere with your clumsiness. Stay out of the way where you belong. The words hung in the air, a stain on the glittering night. Kwasi flinched, but only for a moment, his shoulders slumping almost imperceptibly as he absorbed the blow with a quiet grace. He did not respond, for his spirit was too strong to be broken by a careless tongue. He simply nodded, his gaze dropping to the floor he had so carefully polished, and moved away quietly, his presence shrinking further into the background. He carried not just a tray, but a silent wisdom that saw beyond the surface, a wisdom that Zara, in her youthful arrogance, was yet to learn. Unknown to Zara, the intricate threads of destiny continued to be woven. From across the opulent hall, a pair of sharp, wise eyes had observed the entire exchange. Chief Amadi, a titan of industry and a man of profound integrity, had witnessed Zara's casual cruelty and Kwasi's unwavering dignity. This was a man who valued character above all else, a man who believed that true power lay not in a title, but in the heart. Chief Amadi knew the truth about Kwasi, a truth that made Zara's arrogance sting even more. With a subtle, almost imperceptible gesture, he gave a meaningful look to his assistant, who immediately took out a small notebook. A silent judgment was made in that moment, a seed of consequence sown. This seed was destined to blossom with the rising sun, and its fruit would bring a powerful lesson to a young woman who had forgotten the most ancient and fundamental law of all, the law of humanity. Chapter 5: The Silent Aftermath. As the last echoes of laughter faded, Zara departed the gala, basking in the triumphant glow of her evening. She had networked, she had charmed, and in her own eyes, she had asserted her rightful place among the elite. The world, she felt, was hers for the taking, a perfect stage upon which she would perform her brilliant future. Meanwhile, in the now empty hall, Kwasi remained, a solitary figure amidst the debris of celebration. He moved with quiet efficiency, sweeping discarded confetti and wiping champagne spills. His royal dark ebony skin glowed faintly in the dimming hall lights, a symbol of his tireless work. He finished his duties with a meticulous thoroughness, his face an unreadable mask, unaffected by the glamour that had once filled the room. As he stepped out into the cool, silent embrace of the pre-dawn city, a new day and a shocking revelation awaited them both. The sun was about to rise not just on a city, but on a truth that would change everything. The sun rose over the city, casting a warm, golden light on the modern glass buildings. The bustling urban life began once more, with its predictable rhythm and its relentless pace. For Zara, the new day began with a triumphant certainty. The gala had been a success, her future felt secure, and she was ready to step onto the corporate stage she felt she rightfully deserved. She dressed with the same meticulous care she had given her party gown, her professional red blouse and sleek trousers a new armor for her to wear into battle. She looked at her reflection with a confident smile, her large traditional African braids styled immaculately. The memory of the janitor from the night before was a forgotten speck of dust on her perfectly planned path. She had no room for doubt, no space for the kindness she had dismissed. She was a warrior of the corporate world, and she believed her success would be built on ambition and talent alone. At the corporate tower, the usual hum of business was replaced by a palpable, fevered energy. Whispers of a new CEO filled the air, a storm of curiosity and anticipation. Zara, entirely unaware of the shift in the company's atmosphere, strode into the lobby, confident of her place and her power. But her world stopped dead when she saw him. There, surrounded by a team of assistants, was the man from the night before. But he was no longer a janitor. He was dressed in a perfectly tailored suit, a modern traditional blend white shirt adorning his royal dark ebony skin. He walked with a quiet, commanding authority, his presence filling the entire space. It was Kwasi, the janitor, now the new CEO. Zara's jaw dropped in utter disbelief. The man she had so casually insulted, the one she had told to stay out of the way, now held a power that could change her entire destiny. The world, she was about to learn, was a much smaller place than she had ever imagined. The corner office, the most prestigious room in the company and a sanctuary of power, now belonged to the man Zara had so recently dismissed. Kwasi Agyeman, the new CEO, sat at his desk, his gaze sweeping over the city below. The very city whose floors he had swept hours before, now lay at his command. His presence was one of quiet, unassuming authority. On his large wooden desk, a few simple objects, a clay pot, a small tribal drum, and a framed painting with African tribal art, served as a testament to his values, to a foundation of wisdom and heritage. He pressed a button on his intercom, his voice calm, clear, and commanding. "Have Zara Johnson from the marketing department come to my office," he said. Immediately, the order was not a request but a summons. His first act as CEO was to call the young woman who had forgotten that a janitor is a person, and in doing so, to begin a lesson that would change her life forever. Back at her desk, Zara was in a daze, her thoughts a whirlwind of disbelief and rising panic. She tried to make sense of what her eyes had seen. The man she had ridiculed, the man she had looked down upon, was now the CEO of her company. Her phone rang, its chime a jarring intrusion on her frantic thoughts. The voice on the other end delivered the news she had been dreading. "Ms. Johnson," her assistant said, her voice filled with a tremor of awe. "The new CEO wants to see you. Now." The single word, "now," hung in the air like a final judgment, leaving her no room to prepare or to escape. Her hand trembled as she held the phone. The confidence she had worn all morning crumbled, replaced by a cold knot of dread in the pit of her stomach. She knew, in that terrifying moment, that her past had come to meet her future. The journey to the top floor, a climb that Zara had once envisioned as a triumphant procession, was now a long, solitary walk of shame. Each floor the elevator passed was a moment of agonizing reflection, a reminder of her careless words and her arrogant heart. The long, silent corridor seemed to stretch on forever, a gauntlet of knowing looks and whispered pity. Senior executives, who had once admired her, now looked at her with a mix of curiosity and solemnity. Zara kept her head bowed, unable to meet their gaze. With each step, the weight of her cruelty settled upon her, heavy and inescapable. The casual words she had spoken so thoughtlessly now echoed in her mind, a haunting chorus of her own creation. She had reached the office door, the final destination of a journey she had begun with arrogance and was now ending with dread. She stepped into the silent, vast space of the corner office. The man she had so recently dismissed as a janitor stood before her, a powerful silhouette against the breathtaking city skyline. He didn't speak, didn't move. He simply waited, his back to her, leaving her to grapple with the profound silence. The silence was a weight, a heavy cloak of her own making, forcing her to confront the full extent of her actions. Finally, he turned, his face calm and unreadable. He looked at her with the same gentle, knowing depth she had glimpsed at the gala. The moment of reckoning had arrived. She was no longer a star at a gala, but an employee standing before her boss, a student before a teacher. She was about to learn that the person she had so easily cast aside held a power far greater than she could have ever imagined. A power not of position, but of character. Kwasi did not raise his voice or reference the previous night's events. He didn't need to. His presence was the message. His silence a powerful testament to the dignity she had forgotten. He spoke not of vengeance, but of a quiet, profound philosophy. He talked about the foundation of a company, the unseen pillars that hold everything up, and the people who are often forgotten. A building is only as strong as its foundation, he said, his voice calm and measured. And in a company, the foundation is its people. Every single person, no matter their role, holds a piece of its strength. To disrespect one is to weaken the whole. Zara listened, her head bowed in shame. His words were a mirror, showing her a reflection of the person she had been. He was not scolding her. He was teaching her, patiently and powerfully, the most important lesson she would ever learn. Chapter 13. The Test. The lesson was not just in words, but in action. Kwasi handed Zara a thick project file, its weight a physical manifestation of the challenge he was laying before her. It was a project of immense importance, one that would make or break her career. But the path to success was one she had actively dismissed just a night before. "This is a crucial project for our company," he said. "You will lead it, but you will have to work closely with every team, especially those who work in the shadows. The janitorial staff, the maintenance crew, they are your partners." The order was a gauntlet thrown at her feet. She was not just being tested on her skills, but on her ability to see humanity in everyone. Her promotion, her career, her future. It all depended on whether she could learn the lesson she so desperately needed, and whether she had the humility to begin a new journey. Zara walked out of the office, the project file clutched tightly in her hands. The walk back down the long corridor was different now. It was no longer a walk of shame, but a walk of purpose. The shame was still there, but now it was a fuel, a powerful motivator for change. The path of arrogance she had followed for so long had led her to a dead end. But a new path had been opened to her, one of humility and learning. Her journey had just begun, and the first step was the hardest. She was no longer just thinking of herself. She was thinking of her mission, of the janitors she had dismissed, and of the profound lesson she had just received. She walked with a new purpose, her head still bowed, but her gaze fixed on the floor, as if looking for the foundation Kwasi had spoken of. She knew her redemption began with a single, humble step. The path of her redemption led to the humblest place in the company, a place of forgotten duties and unseen labor. Zara found herself at the door of the janitor's closet, a world away from the gala she had so recently attended. She saw Kwasi, the janitor, at work, cleaning a bucket, his uniform a powerful symbol of his humility. She hesitated, then took a deep breath. She had to face her past, and she had to learn from her mistakes. "Mr. Ajaming," she said, her voice quiet and respectful. "I need your help." Kwasi looked up, his face still and unreadable. but his eyes held a glimmer of a smile. He gestured to a small, clean space on a shelf, inviting her to sit. The lesson was not just in words. It was in the quiet dignity he always held, in his humility, and in his unending grace. The janitor's closet became her classroom, and the man she had insulted, her wisest teacher. She had come to the wrong place for help, but she had found the right person. The janitor's closet, a place she would have once ignored, became Akila's new classroom. She sat on a small, worn stool, humbled and ready to learn. Kwasi, in his simple uniform, spoke not of boardrooms and corporate strategy, but of the intricate workings of the building itself. He explained the layout of the maintenance systems, pointing to a blueprint with a calm, expert hand. Their conversation was a quiet, intimate one, built on a foundation of newfound respect. Zara listened intently, taking notes, her focus a stark contrast to her previous arrogance. In this small, functional space, filled with the simple tools of unseen labor, a profound partnership was born. The dazzling lights of the gala were a world away, replaced by a simple, honest bulb that illuminated a truth. To truly understand a company, you must first understand its roots. The collaboration continued long into the night, long after the other employees had gone home. In a single, dimly lit conference room, Zara and Kwasi worked side by side. The grand office building, once a symbol of her ambition, was now a silent, empty canvas where they worked tirelessly. Zara, her hair now in a simple ponytail, looked a bit tired, but her determination burned brightly. She worked on her laptop, analyzing data and creating presentations, while Kwasi, in his janitor's uniform, stood beside her, offering invaluable advice about the building's infrastructure. He knew every corner, every hidden pipe, every secret of the vast building. Their partnership was an unexpected alliance, a testament to the fact that true knowledge is not always found in a degree, but in the quiet, tireless work of those who know the world from the ground up. With Kwasi's guidance, Zara began to see the company with new eyes. Her daily routine changed. Instead of just walking past the janitorial staff, she stopped, spoke to them, and listened. She listened to their ideas about improving efficiency and their thoughts on the building's layout. She carried a notepad, jotting down their suggestions with newfound respect. The woman who had once been so dismissive was now a humble student, a leader who understood that every person in the company, no matter their role, was a part of its success. Her newfound humility was not a facade. It was a genuine change of heart. The janitorial staff, in turn, were surprised, and a smile of gratitude would often appear on their faces. A powerful new culture of respect was silently beginning to take root in the company. The growing respect between Zara and the janitorial staff became a topic of conversation in the company, a quiet ripple of change. One day, during their lunch break, Zara went to the company cafeteria and sat down with Kwasi. He was in his janitor's uniform, and she was in her professional attire. They ate their simple meal and laughed together, their conversation relaxed and genuine. The other employees looked on with curiosity and confusion. It was an unexpected alliance, a friendship that defied the company's traditional social hierarchy. Their shared meals became a symbol of a new era, a powerful visual representation of a culture that was no longer built on titles and status, but on mutual respect and shared humanity. The day of the presentation arrived. Zara, a changed woman, stood in front of a conference room filled with senior executives, including Kwasi, who was now in his CEO attire. She spoke with a new confidence, one that was not rooted in arrogance, but in humility. She spoke about the project's success, but she didn't take all the credit. She spoke about the countless hours of collaboration with the janitorial and maintenance staff, who she called her partners. She pointed to the project's results on a large screen, and the title Project Unity, built on respect, was visible for all to see. It was a powerful message, one that showed that true success is not just about numbers, but about people, and that a company's greatest strength lies in its ability to value every single member of its team. After Zara's presentation, Kwasi stood up to give a speech. He praised Zara's work and her dedication. He spoke about her courage to lead a challenging project and her newfound humility. He then spoke about the importance of every employee, no matter their title, and how the company's success was built on the foundation of their collective efforts. He looked at Zara, who was standing in the front, and a profound look of gratitude passed between them. The entire company was listening, and they knew they were witnessing the beginning of a new era. The man who was once a janitor and the woman who had once been an arrogant executive were now the living embodiment of the company's new values. A culture built on respect, humility, and the powerful understanding that every single person holds a piece of the company's strength. Later that day, Kwasi called Zara into his office. He closed the door, and the air was filled with a quiet sense of anticipation. He smiled, and he finally revealed the truth. He told her that he was the janitor she had insulted at the gala, and that the project was a test of her character. Zara's face was a mixture of shock and dawning realization, but this time, there was no dread, only a profound sense of understanding. She looked at him with tears in her eyes, not of shame, but of gratitude. She understood that he had not sought revenge, but had given her a chance to learn the most important lesson of her life. He had not punished her for her arrogance. He had guided her to a new path of humility and respect. In his office, Kwasi held the project file in his hands, and he gently placed his hand on top of it, symbolizing his guidance. He told her that true power lies in respect and that she had now earned her place not just with skills, but with character. Their expressions were full of mutual respect and understanding. He was her mentor, her guide, and her friend. She had come to him as an arrogant executive, but she was leaving his office as a powerful leader, a person who understood that the true strength of a person is not found in their title or their wealth, but in their ability to see the humanity in every single person. Their journey was a testament to the fact that kindness, no matter how small, can change a life forever. Chapter 24. A New Purpose. Zara, now with a new role and a new purpose, was a changed woman. She was no longer just a leader. She was a mentor. In a corporate training room, she was seen giving a presentation to a group of new, young employees about the company's core values. She spoke with a new, quiet confidence, an authority that came from experience. She emphasized respect and collaboration, and she told them the story of a janitor and an executive, a story of a profound lesson that had changed her life. She was no longer arrogant. She was a confident leader who valued every person. Her transformation was a living testament to the fact that a person can change, and that the most powerful lesson in life is often the one that humbles you. Zara and Kwasi stood together in the corporate headquarters lobby, looking at a new, large bronze plaque. The plaque was a tribute to the company's employees, from the CEO down to the janitorial staff. It was a powerful symbol of unity and respect. Kwasi smiled proudly, and Zara looked at him with deep gratitude. The plaque, which read, "Built on a foundation of respect," was a testament to their journey, a living monument to the profound lesson that had transformed not only Zara's life but the entire company's culture. Their story was a legend, and the plaque was a constant reminder that true power is not found in a title, but in the humility to see the strength in everyone. A group of children, a new generation of dreamers, visited the corporate headquarters on a school field trip. They were looking in awe at the bustling building, a symbol of their future. Zara, now a senior executive, gave them a tour. She told them the story of Kwasi, the janitor, and the importance of kindness and respect. She spoke about her own journey, her own mistakes, and her own profound lesson. The children were listening intently, their faces full of wonder. She was not just telling them a story. She was planting a seed in their hearts, a seed of humility, kindness, and respect. She was teaching them that true success is not found in a title, but in the way you treat others, and that the greatest lesson in life is often the one that comes from the humblest of places. Zara and Kwasi were having a simple, friendly dinner at a modest restaurant. The lavish gala where they first met was a distant, almost unreal memory. They were laughing and talking like old friends, their conversation relaxed and genuine. Kwasi was in his usual tailored suit, and Zara was in a simple but elegant dress. The atmosphere was warm and personal, a stark contrast to the opulence of the gala. Their dinner was a testament to the powerful bond they had formed, a bond that was not based on professional hierarchy or social status, but on mutual respect, shared wisdom, and a profound understanding of each other's journey. Zara and Kwasi were walking down a city street at night. The city lights were glowing in the background, a backdrop for their conversation. Zara was asking Kwasi about his life and his journey, and he was telling her about his wisdom and his struggles. He was a wise mentor and a trusted friend, and their walk was a quiet, powerful moment of connection. They were walking side by side, equals in spirit, even though one was the CEO and the other a senior executive. Kwasi's life was a testament to the fact that true power is not found in a title, but in the humility to see the strength in everyone, and that the greatest journey of all is the one that leads you to a deeper understanding of humanity. The new culture of the company was visible in every corner of the building. On a sunny, bustling day, employees were seen walking through the lobby and in the offices. A janitor was seen talking respectfully to an executive, and the executive was smiling and listening. The atmosphere was one of mutual respect and collaboration. The company had been transformed, not by a new business plan, but by a new philosophy, one that was built on a foundation of respect and the powerful understanding that every single person holds a piece of the company's heart. The new culture was a living monument to the powerful lesson that had transformed Zara's life and the entire company. The story of Zara and Kwasi became a cherished part of the company's folklore, a legend told to new employees as a powerful lesson, and sometimes, in a quiet, forgotten corner of the headquarters, a solitary gold crown, intricately made with African tribal patterns and symbols, sits on a simple wooden table. Beside it is a small, old, humble janitor's uniform. The contrast is powerful, a silent, beautiful representation of the story's moral. The narrator's voice, now a quiet whisper, speaks of how the true crown of a person is not found in their title or their wealth, but in the kindness of their heart, the humility of their spirit, and the respect they show to every single person they meet. The most powerful crown of all is the one earned not through a promotion, but through a profound change of heart.